welcome back to Solo in Your Forties,
Living Unscripted.
the podcast where we dive into the various aspects of life, love, and everything in between. I'm Michelle Turner.
I'm Yando.
And so today's episode, we're going to be focusing on being single in a group of married friends. So we got some really good stuff there. Also, we have a very fun game of Guess That Whiskey.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
While we also enjoy a little bit of whiskey.
Yeah, cheers. Second episode, cheers.
Yes, second episode, cheers.
Yes.
So we really hope y'all enjoyed that first episode. And don't forget to comment below on anything you want to hear from us as we go through, or just comment along whenever you feel the need to tell us we're doing great or if we suck. Thanks.
Yeah. And if I know Michelle looks a lot better than I do today, so I did dress down. She dressed up. So if you want to comment about my outfit, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
All right, let's jump into it.
For sure. So I came up with some questions based around, of course, the two of us have a bunch of married friends around us. So thought that'd be interesting just to see kind of our different takes on what that's like. Okay, so the first one, what is your go-to advice for handling unsolicited dating advice from friends and family?
I'm first? Okay, so I feel like I get this a lot, and I don't know if it's a lot of it's in my head or if I'm just defensive about it, because I feel like everybody I date, I automatically feel pressure that they're going to be accepted by friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second that I get feedback saying, Yando, why are you sure? Or Yando this and Yando that. And it's kind of like, oh gosh, so I feel like in my head, sometimes it has to be perfect. And instead of like focusing just on me
and how you
I feel like I focus on the whole picture. Like, okay, I know she's going to be, I like her, or my friends and family are going to like her. So that's like a lot of pressure too. And then I know once I get that advice from, go do this or go do that or meet this one or meet that one, it's like, so I think that's the toughest part for me.
Yeah, because a lot of people, especially a lot of our friends, they've been married a very long time.
Oh yeah.
So the dating today, first off, is trash.
Yes.
It is very hard to date today. And so some of the advice that we get, it's like, this isn't, 10 or 15 years ago. It's, it's just a very different world in dating. So,
yeah.
And again, that the pressure of, oh my God, are they going to like this person? Which at the end of the day, we're the ones dating them.
Well, 100%.
So if I'm enjoying my time, I don't care if anyone else likes them. Now, of course, if they see red flags, I really would love for them because I'm a huge person that misses those red flags.
Yeah, I think you're not the only one there. And I think, on a side note, I think one of my favorite comments I get from my married friends is, oh my God, Yando, I'm so glad I'm not single nowadays. It's terrible out there. I'm like, yes. And thank you for the reminder. Not that I already don't know it's terrible, but I constantly get that from my married friends. Like, I'm glad I don't have to go through that ever again.
Yeah.
You can just live vicariously through me.
Yeah,
and one of these episodes we'll do the horror stories, and then and then they'll figure out exactly what we go through. So yeah,
totally get it.
Great question.
Okay, so now this one I really like. What are some of the benefits of having married friends?
Benefits to it. Oh my gosh, benefits to having married friends. I would say the majority of my friends, and I'm not going to obviously name names.
Sure.
But the majority of my friends do have very strong and healthy marriages. And I think that's, one of the benefits that I like hanging around that is it gives me a kind of a clear aspect of like, hey, this is what I want. Or, this is something that, when I'm looking for somebody, this is not like necessarily that person, but like the situation that I'm looking for, right? And I think that one of the benefits is it shows me, like what I'm missing and what I want to do. I don't know. In my opinion, there's not like a whole lot of benefits because, in our group of friends, when one of the benefits for a lot of people are, hey, let me introduce you to my friend.
Sure.
Let me introduce you to my friend.
Sure.
Don't get a lot of that from my married friends because they're all married. So that could be a benefit. Unfortunately, it's not a benefit in my life, but in a lot of other people's lives, I think a benefit of a married couple is introducing you to their friends that are possibly single, divorced, something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why I wanted to bring this one up, because we have what a lot of you don't know is we've known each other for what, 20 years?
Yeah, at least.
And our friend group we've known that same amount of time, if not longer.
Yep.
So being around a lot of our friends and them being married for so long, there's really not a lot of new people that come into the group.
No.
So really, and he's like my brother, so we're not dating.
Yes, we'll throw that out there.
I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. But one thing that I thought was kind of a benefit is what you said, of course, of being able to see healthy relationships. Mm-hmm. So it brings you that hope. But also it lets you know what you don't want in a relationship.
And that's the vice versa of it. Because when you have friends that are not in a healthy marriage, you kind of step back and you say,
"Oh, okay, that's what that is."
Oh, yeah, okay, well, yeah, because you can see it from an outside perspective, things that they don't see, and so you can kind of grasp onto those things and say, "Oh, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I don't want that. I don't want that." Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a benefit too. Mm-hmm. Like even the unhealthy ones kind of show you a path of what you're looking for.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. So have you ever felt pressure or judgment from your married friends about your relationship status?
Status? I would say it's more of like the side comments.
Yeah.
Ever gonna get married? Dating anybody? And it's kind of like that loaded question that they don't really want to come out and say, like, dude, are you ever gonna get married?
Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
Right. And so I think that comes with a lot of pressure. Like my mom always used to, and she was always my biggest fan. And so every time, I would bring a girl home or she would meet a girlfriend, I think she only met 2 of them in my life. She was my biggest critic. Right. And so, she really wanted me to find somebody, but I think a lot of my married friends and stuff like that, for the most part, they're supportive. Which I think is awesome. Hey, have you met anybody? And they don't mean that in a bad way, but they're meaning it in like, oh, you haven't, or is anything new? I like when they ask me, like, hey, meet anybody else? Anybody new? Something like that. So, but the pressures nowadays aren't as bad as what they used to.
That's true.
I think it used to be a lot worse. Now it's just kind of like, hey, if you made it this long, obviously you're waiting for something.
Right.
So. Yeah, just kind of hang in there, Tiger.
And maybe that goes to play that whenever you're over your 40s, there's not going to be as much judgment or pressure because clearly, like you said, if we've made it this long,
and so like to you, like what kind of pressures do you get from family and friends?
I don't know if it's really pressure. It's just every single time it's, how are you dating? Who's coming into the picture next?
Right.
And are you putting yourself out there? Which no, I don't. I just don't anymore.
I know it's
but
tough.
Yeah, it's literally that question so who are we dating? Anyone new? No. It's always no. So but I think it could just be that, once you reach that certain age that you don't get the same pressures from people.
Yeah.
At least not with our friends.
Yeah, I think our friends are mostly supportive.
Yeah.
And they genuinely care, they really want us to like meet somebody.
That's true.
But at the same time, they're the first ones to say when someone comes around,
yes or no. Which, let's be honest, I think we've had some questionables.
Right. Yeah, we've had some questionables. Again, that's
more so than me.
That's probably going to be an episode. But I think one of the best reactions that I love getting is, the next day, I'll meet up with a friend. So how did you feel about so and so? She was nice. Yeah. The high voice. She was nice. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Crap. Like what went wrong here? But again, that's a benefit too,
Yes.
because they can see stuff that maybe I don't
That's true.
see.
You know what? That is a really good benefit because you do want someone that is successful at relationships to tell you what
Right.
you're doing wrong.
I mean, not only successful in your relationships, but also they know you like family.
That's
Like I
true.
think, like I said, our friend group we're like family, and
Yeah.
so they know me to, they know you to a T, right?
Yes.
And so they know what I'm looking for, they know what I want, and
Mm-hmm.
so when I get the high pitch, yeah, that's a no. That's a no,
So
right?
there was something wrong
Right,
there.
right.
Okay.
So yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Okay, so how do you find common ground with your married friends when your priorities are different?
um, yeah, that is tough because I think when they all started having kids and they were younger,
Mhm.
it was a lot easier to find that common ground because
Mhm.
they weren't uh, the kids were just part of the life. They weren't part of the kids' lives yet,
Right.
and I'll explain that here in a second. And so you still had time to go and hang out with them and do this and you do that. But as the kids get older and they start getting involved in sports, they start getting involved
Mhm.
in school activities and things of that nature. That's when it's hard to find a common ground because they're off doing, either they're at the sporting event or they're at some sort of school function or at
Mhm.
this
A
and a
play.
play,
Yeah.
anything that has to do with their children, and that's where it's kind of hard to find the common ground because I don't,
Mhm.
I'm not going to show I'm not going to show up at a school event. First of all, that's probably illegal. Second of
I think
all,
only if you're registered. I'm
right,
just saying.
right. So I don't know. And so that's where I feel like the common ground has definitely switched
Mm,
as we get older. Is
yep.
you know, daddy daughter dances. I can't relate to that
Oh
stuff, right?
yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
relate to my kids playing sports, even though I've always
Mhm.
wanted that. And so, but still, at the end of the day, we still find time to watch football games
Mhm.
or kind of we just did that South Padre fishing trip,
Yeah.
I think, and they're all married except me, and so that felt like just the guys fishing. It didn't feel like I was with a bunch of married people with
Right.
children and stuff like that. So
Everyone could still let loose.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
and I think that's we do try hard to find that common ground,
Mhm.
but it does get tougher as we
Yeah.
get older for sure.
Yeah, I get that. And even, with my girlfriends that are all married, we always still have our girls' trip
Yeah,
where we have no responsibility whatsoever, all the shenanigans, and just
it's like getting
get
in a time
yeah,
machine.
get to let loose. But the funny thing is now being in our 40s, well, I'm in my 40s, they're like a year away.
Yeah,
Is by 9 p.m. because we started so early, by 9 p.m. we're all just lounging in the living room,
hmm,
watching a movie or a comedy show of some sort,
sure,
and we're out by 10.
yeah.
So that's a bit different these
Yeah,
days.
yeah,
But
that is definitely the guys kind of do a little bit different. I think when the guys get a chance to kind of blow some
yeah, y'all
steam,
go till 3 in the
we
morning.
tend to we tend to act like we're 22
Yes.
years old again.
But honestly, if you think about it though, because typically a lot of the girls, I mean, all my girlfriends, they are working full time, but
Hmm.
also really running the household and taking care of the kids a lot.
Sure.
So they're ready to pass out early because
Oh
they
yeah.
never get to do that. Whereas, no offense, fellas, y'all do have the chance. Y'all don't always have as much in it with the kids as the women do.
Notice that she said it and I didn't.
I did say
So,
it.
but and that's
Throw
that.
all the shade you want. I don't
Yeah.
care. But
But
I've seen it.
that's kind of a common ground thing too, because that's another thing that I like. They have all these responsibilities.
Hmm.
We have responsibilities, but
Sure.
we're not responsible
Well,
for another life.
and I'm not even saying it in a sense to knock guys. I think women's brains work so differently that we feel like we really do have to have our hand in all of it
I
anyways.
I would agree with you on
So,
that.
you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, finding that common ground with friends. So definitely taking trips, things like that. Also, I was going to say something there and I lost it.
That happens.
Story of my life.
As you get to know Michelle,
may have had a little bit too much marijuana in my life. Little devil's lettuce.
As you get to know Michelle, she does kind of have squirrel moments every now and then.
I partake.
So it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It'll come to you.
Have you ever felt like the third wheel? Or fourth or fifth wheel? Or no, it'd be the third, fifth, or seventh wheel.
I'll say this, just in my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it goes back to how close we are as friends. I've never felt like the third wheel. They've never made me feel like the third wheel. Now, I'll say this: there's times where maybe I'm invited to a function that is mainly geared towards the kids, and I'm there, and nobody's making me feel like a third wheel. I'm making myself feel like it, and I'm kind of like looking around like.
It kind of makes you like, oh, it would be really nice if someone was here with me too.
Oh gosh, wouldn't that be great? But yeah, but a lot of those times I have beer and liquor, so I just kind of
drink the sorrows away.
Go off to the side while everybody's chasing the kids around, and I'll just kind of.
Oh, it's just Uncle Yando.
Just Uncle Yando over in the corner again, like try not to give off the creepy vibes, of course, but yeah.
No, yeah, I totally. A few of my friends, I'll go out with them and their boyfriends or husbands or whatever, and it's for the most part, it doesn't even faze me whatsoever. But then there's those little moments where they have to be all cute and lovey-dovey, because they're so in love, and you're just sitting there like, oh, okay,
and you kind of look over to your side.
I'll take another, please.
Yeah. Get some of those margaritas coming here pretty stat.
But for the most part, no. But I just think that's because we really do have a great group of friends.
True. Yeah. And honestly, like I try not to put myself in those situations.
That's true.
There are many things that I'm invited to where I know for a fact that it's not about me and the friends, it's about the kids. And I remove myself from that situation. And so even though I'm fully welcome.
Yeah, of course.
Open arms.
Absolutely.
But it's just me, right? It's I kind of, again, it's one of those situations where you look around, you're like, okay, I'm 42 years
43, right? Oh. I think we did the math last
time. It's the age thing, I think. I'm 43 now, and I'm kind of looking around thinking, man, I thought I was going to have all this by now. And again, it doesn't like make me sad or anything, but there's moments, like you said, where you just kind of, and then
it's the occasional loneliness.
Yeah, it's that moment that you're kind of like, because I tell you, the grass isn't always greener, right?
No, it's definitely not.
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody. I get constant people reaching out to me throughout the years saying, "Oh, Yando, I saw you did this, and Yando, I saw you did that, and oh, it's so fun, and blah blah blah," and but they're married with children and all that stuff, and I tell them all like, "Hey, listen, I know I get to travel and do all that stuff, but
there's perks on both sides.
Of course, and that's what I kind of reiterate to them is like, hey, the grass isn't always greener, buddy. There's some times where I'm sitting at home on a Friday night by myself, and you're having family night.
Right.
So don't get all wrapped up in the whole I want to live Yando's and Michelle's life.
Right.
Like.
But then again, my life's pretty great.
Let's be honest.
I can't tell you how many times I'll be talking to, one of my girlfriends and, oh yeah, I have a massage scheduled tomorrow, and then I'm going to my yoga class, and I'm like, oh, your life. And it's just I get to have that self-care more than any mom does.
Sure.
And I love my self-care. So
I mean,
it keeps me sane.
Right. We do have to go get our feet massaged again.
Oh yes. Yes. Fantastic place.
Here in Texas.
Yes, reflexology massage.
The
best ever.
Oh, huge shout out to those peeps.
We'll definitely do that again soon.
Sidetracked.
Yeah. Squirrel.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's all the questions I had drummed up today. So now we get to play the little fun game of Guess That Whiskey.
Guess That Whiskey. So after our first episode, we got a little bit of feedback on, hey, we thought it was fantastic, but why don't you throw something fun in there? Sure. I know we always have our cocktails with us and stuff like that, but so I figured we do kind of like a little fun thing at the end of each one of them.
So we'll explain it more here in just a moment. We're going to go get it all set up. And then anything you would like to see us do in future episodes, leave it in the comments.
Yes.
All right. So what we did is I lined up 4 of the best whiskeys, in our opinion. And
well, that's in my bar cart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't judge.
As you can see, we've drank most of them down.
Yes.
So
yeah.
You're welcome.
Yep.
So of course, he has no clue what order they're in.
No.
And he's going to sip out of each one and let us know which one is which.
Okay. So we have
Blanton's.
Okay.
Jack Daniels, of course.
Okay. Of course.
We have
Old Forester, I believe.
No, we did Buffalo Trace and Bullet.
Buffalo Trace and Bullet.
Yep.
Okay. In no particular order that was.
No particular order. Yeah, I just threw them out there. So.
Okay. So if I start dry heaving, I apologize.
Okay.
All right. So first one here.
Didn't even make a face.
That is. I'm going to say that's Buffalo Trace.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sweeter. Wait, Jack, Buffalo. What's the other one?
Bullet and Blanton's.
I think I'm going to say that one's number 2 is Blanton's.
Okay.
Jack Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
Which one am I missing?
Bullet.
Okay,
so Buffalo.
Buffalo, yep. Blanton's, Jack, Bullet.
Okay. How many did he get right, fellas? None.
Oh, you're kidding me!
I at least thought you'd get Jack Daniels.
Well, I had all the cocktails of.
I get it. Oh. I get it. So this one's Bullet. Jack Daniels.
That's Jack Daniels?
That's hysterical. You thought that was the most expensive one.
Shout out to Jack Daniels.
Buffalo Trace.
And then Blanton's. Okay, so when I took that one, I thought maybe I was like, that might be Blanton's. But I was like, stick with my guns.
Yeah.
0 out of 4?
0 out of 4.
Whiskey connoisseur.
There you go.
2 here. Obviously, I was 0 for 4, which I'm very disappointed at because Jack Daniels is kind of my go-to whiskey.
Yes. Even toward Jack Daniels facility. It's incredible.
And I have every Wednesday, I have the guys over for what we call Cheap Whiskey Wednesday. No offense to Jack Daniels, but we feature Jack Daniels every Wednesday. So yes, I am kind of defeated on that one.
But he doesn't know it unless he knows it.
Yes, exactly. All right, so Michelle's up, and whenever she's ready to roll, let's see.
Okay, so there's Bullet,
there's
Blanton's,
Buffalo, and Jack.
We'll see.
First one.
Oh, this is hard.
I'm telling you.
I'm going to say... Man, I'm going to go with... I'm going to say Jack Daniels.
Okay. Round number 2 here.
Oh, this is rough.
Welcome to the whiskey tasting round, Michelle.
Woo! I'm going to say Blanton's.
Okay.
Oh, this is rough.
You got it.
Let me get a drink of my Jack and Coke.
Go ahead and cleanse the palate if you need to.
Woo, okay.
You're cruising. You only got 2 more.
You went through this without a face.
Listen.
Oh. Bullet.
Okay.
With that one. What's the last one we have left?
The last one you haven't said is Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
So obviously you're going to think this is Buffalo.
Yeah. We're just going to go and say it, but I'm going to drink it anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, no cheating. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, she is a huge fan of the Guess the Whiskey game.
Oh.
I've got to get my game face
Next
on.
time we're doing something a little bit less.
I've got to get my announcer voice on.
Look, my eyes watering. Man. Okay.
All right.
Did I get any of them?
Okay, so you said Jack,
Blanton's.
Blanton's, Bullet, Buffalo.
Yeah.
0 for 4.
Winners at live.
We are
Okay, what were they though? Let me see.
Yeah. So you got Jack and Blanton's mixed up, and then you got Buffalo and.
You know what? And I said Jack on Blanton's because it was really good.
I did the same thing.
Yeah. So
shout out to Jack Daniels.
Yeah, way to go, Jack Daniels. That's an actual rare bottle, isn't it?
Well, I just wanted. That's not. I mean, it's a hard bottle to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So we're not great at the guess your whiskey game.
No. Next week it'll be hot sauce. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. Hey, if there's something you do want to see, leave it in the comments,
please,
and we will actually do it, regardless of what it is. We will just do it.
Yeah, but let's focus on what the topics are.
We got to bring it. We got to bring it to the people.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching episode 2, and we want to leave you with embrace the unique opportunities and freedom that being single at 40 offers.
Nice.
Also focus on personal growth, self-care, and nurturing your friendships. And until next time, keep living life unscripted.
Cheers.
Cheers.